Hello, sorry about that. Hello, Anna Carolina.
Hello, Stephanie.
How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
Good, good. And Javier, hello.
Hello, Stephanie.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. You?
I'm fine, thank you. Welcome to class.
Thank you very much.
And have we met before?
No, I think that we haven't. It's the first class that I have with you, yeah.
Okay, I was thinking so as well. So where are you from?
I'm from Barcelona, Spain.
Very cool, very cool. A beautiful city.
Yeah, I love it, yeah.
Awesome, amazing. It's nice to meet you.
Me too.
I'm from the United States, from Minneapolis, Minnesota, but I live in New York. So broadcasting live from New York City.
That's fine.
All right, so this class, Anna Carolina's second favorite class, I think, is all about idioms. So we'll be looking at some fun language. Idioms are always fun because they're unique or strange. And we'll be using them in writing. So you'll get a little bit of practice writing. And we'll address any writing errors or anything we see as well. David, hello.
Hi, Stephanie. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
All right. Welcome. Glad you're here. Okay, so how this works. First, we will learn 3 hopefully new idioms. I'll show you a picture and a little example. We'll talk about it, take any questions that you have. And then we'll go to a Google Doc where you'll have 5 or 6 minutes to write sentences or a paragraph using the idioms in context. So that way we kind of learn the idioms and then practice them and deepen our understanding by looking at each other's examples. So with that, we'll go right to it. The first idiom today is a very, very common one. This one might not be new for you. This one is hang on. Hang on. And you can see there, this is kind of the literal drawing. So you can see 2 people literally hanging on to something. But to hang on means to persevere or to continue despite difficulty. Let's have someone read the example for us. Anna Carolina, would you start and read the first example?
Sure. Persevere. During the depression, during the depression years, the Smiths had a great idea. Um, oops. During the depression years, the Smiths had a great deal of trouble with their business, but somehow or other they were able to hang on. Although they almost lost their store, they managed to persevere until things got better.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So to hang on means to keep going when times are difficult. Any questions about this idiom so far? Have you heard this one before?
Nope.
Yes,
No.
Stephanie, in the poster that the cat is on a row.
Oh yeah, I gotta show this really quick. Very kind of common inspirational poster. Let me look that up real quick. Keep describing it for us.
Yes, basically that is a poster of a cat that is hanging on in a row. I think so.
Yeah, and it'll say, "Hang in there."
It's cute.
Yay, it's adorable. Yeah. So hang on is like the same as hang in there. Keep going.
Right.
Great connection and always fun to look at cat pictures. Yeah, so that's hang on. Pretty common. This can also mean wait a moment. So I might say hang on to someone if I want them to just wait a moment, wait a second, wait a minute. So that's a less dramatic usage. All right, let's look at our second one. Give it one's best shot. To give it one's best shot. Here's our literal interpretation. Here's a man literally shooting something, giving it a shot. But this means to try hard or to put your best effort into something. Let's have someone read. David, would you read the example for us?
Sure, Stephanie. Try hard. Can you do anything about repairing this TV set? I'm not much of an electrician, but I will give my best shot. Many thanks. I'd be most appreciative. Okay, I will try my hardest to fix it, but I'm not promising that I will succeed. At this point, I will take all the help I can get.
Great, thank you very much. All right, so try to give it one's best shot is to try very hard at something. Any questions on this one?
You can excuse me, teacher. You can use this without my best, no? I'll give it a shot as well.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. So if you say give it a shot, that means you'll give it a try.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about your effort,
Okay.
just that you will try. Give it a shot, try it out.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very good. And this is another very common one. We usually use best shot. Well, I don't want to say usually, but when it does have best shot, we're usually emphasizing our effort. And that might be in the context of failure in the past. I gave it my best shot, but I didn't succeed. All right. Whereas I'll give it a shot, we usually use just to mean to test or to try. All right, one more, another very common one, financial one, make ends meet. And here's a hilarious figurative drawing. Here are the ends of the elephants meeting. But to make ends meet means to pay one's bills, to be able to cover all of your necessary expenses is to make ends meet. Javier, would you read this example for us?
It's almost impossible trying to keep up with the high cost of living. It's true. Things are so expensive nowadays that it's very difficult to make ends meet. Even with Lucy, I cannot see now. But there is. No. Mm, Lucy's saga comes hardly enough to pay. Something like that. I cannot see the whole part. Yeah. So I don't know. Salary. Yeah.
Sorry, that's strange. I don't know why. Sometimes I can't tell what is visible. It looks on my side like everything's visible. Yes, Lucy's salary.
Lucy's salary. Yeah.
Is that
Comes
better?
hardly enough to pay all the bills. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. Great, thank you very much. Yeah, so make ends meet is to pay all the bills. And we usually use this idiom in, well, let's just say that rich people don't need to use this idiom often. To make ends meet is to have just enough money, not to have extra money. If you are making ends meet, you are not earning lots of money. You're not shopping frivolously. You're not buying electronics all the time. So any questions on that idiom? All right, we're going to go to the Google Doc. Let me get it copied for us. So now we're going to practice using these in writing. I'm pasting a link in the chat to the Google Doc. And you'll see the three idioms at top. We'll quickly review their meaning and then we'll start writing. All right, let's switch to our Google Doc. All right, and just to review, what does hang on mean?
Persevere.
Yeah, to persevere, to continue in spite of difficulty. Great, exactly. And give it one's best shot. Who remembers that one?
Do your best.
Do your best. Try something. Do your best. Try hard at something. Yep. And then our last one was make ends meet. Who remembers what that one meant?
Pay one's bill.
Yeah. Yep, to pay one's bills. To have enough money to pay for basic, we'll say, necessities. All right. Those were our three idioms. I'm going to put, we'll start with 5 minutes, but if you need another minute or two, that's no problem. Just start by writing your name, and then underneath your name you can write 3 sentences, or you can write a paragraph, however you want to do it. You can be as creative as you like or not. Just try to use those in context. So 5 minutes, ready, set, go. All right, 5 minutes is up. Let's see how we're doing. We'll give another minute. So don't worry, looks like everyone's still working. I'll put another minute, 2 minutes on the timer. But let me know if you're finished.
I finished. I hope you all you all think it's okay. The things I wrote.
I like it. It looks like we are all main characters, so I am excited to hear it. Okay, we'll get started. Let me turn off my timer there.
Okay, I hope you won't get mad or angry.
Well, we know it's fiction writing. We'll have fun with it. Or at least
Okay.
I will. I can't speak for David or Javier.
Okay. Uh, okay. Uh, David, Javier, Stephanie, and I were roommates, and it was really difficult to make ends meet since we were university students, and every now and then we felt as poor as a mouse's church. Stephanie was definitely not a minimalist person. Neither was I. Even being broke, we have never lived as a not have. We used to splurge on makeup and nice clothes to belong to the group of the cool kids, of course. But buy nice things was a high. When when things got fought, no, when things got tough, we used to say, "Oh, hang on, everything will be fine." And then we used to party to forget our financial problems. One day, Javier brought us some happy grass, and Stephanie have never tried it before. Had never, I guess. Uh, but he said, "Come on, just try. Give it your best shot. Give it a puff and hold your breath." It was fun. We laughed a lot, but I forgot to put the ET. We laughed a lot, but one day we took stock of our lives and we became more responsible.
Very funny. I love it. Definitely funny. Fiction story. It's good to be back in college again. Actually, this is pretty close to my real life. No, very creative, and I see a lot of vocabulary from our last lesson, so bonus points throughout.
Yes, I tried to use the new vocabulary.
Excellent. That's a great strategy for really locking in that vocabulary. All right, so let's look at it. Here is our first idiom. With roommates, really difficult to make ends meet since we were university students. Great usage, perfect. No other comment on that. Since we were university students, and every now and then we felt poor as, I think, I'm not sure, I actually have to look it up. I think the phrase is poor as a church mouse.
Yes, maybe. Probably.
I think, but I'm not, because I forget, what is a church mouse?
Yes, I think you are right.
There we go. That's a
Sorry.
good one, though. Church, how do I spell it? Yeah, very good idiom there. Poor as a church mouse. Or actually, that's a simile. Very nice. Bonus points. Just to be very, very poor. I don't know where that expression comes from, but a church mouse has no money. Less than a regular mouse, I guess. All right, Stephanie was definitely not a minimalist person. Neither was I. Good vocabulary. Even being broke, we have never lived as a nut have. Good. Bonus idiom there. Idiomatic for poor. Broke means have no money. And then we just need to reverse the order here. Have nots.
Thank you.
Yeah, great. We have never lived as, and we would pluralize this one. if we're talking about both of us. Great. We used to splurge on makeup and nice clothes. Oh, good verb there. To belong to the group of the cool kids, of course. Buying things was a nice high. Buying nice things was a high. Good use of that vocabulary too. When things got tough, we used to say, oh, hang on, everything will be fine. So there's another idiom. Great usage. I just want to add one thing. I'm not sure why, but I think we would almost always, we would use the word just before that. I don't know why. Oh, just hang on. Everything will be fine. We used to party and forget our financial problems. One day, Javier brought us some happy grass. I love that slang for marijuana. Very funny. And Stephanie had never tried it before. But he said, come on, just try it. Give it your best shot. Give a puff and hold your breath. Good, we would take a puff. Good usage, there's our third idiom. Give it your best shot. Yep, we can use this for anything that you try, whether it's weed or a job. Anything that you try, you can give your best shot. It was fun, we laughed a lot, but one day we took stock of our lives and we became more responsible. Thank goodness. So the idiom. Good. Another bonus idiom here, take stock, means to examine or reflect on your life. All right, very funny. Great use of the idioms. Does anyone have any question on his examples? Awesome. Let us continue. Javier, are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right, go ahead.
I'll hang on studying English even though most of the times I think it's really difficult. So yesterday I went to speak with my teacher in order to get an advice. She told me that I had to give it my best shot and I could improve it without any doubt. Apart from struggling with my English studies, I am in a really difficult economic situation. I can't meet my ends. I will have to ask for money to my parents.
All right, thank you, Javier. Excellent. Great, so let's look at our idioms. Our first one is right here. I will hang on studying English, even though most of the times I think it's really difficult. Pretty good usage here. There's something a little strange, and I think it's actually this. I think we would say going to. I am going to. There's no real rule for this. Using will would be fine and clear as well. But I think because this is a plan, we'd use going to instead. But as far as the context and meaning of the idiom, excellent. We use this when we're talking about something that is not easy to continue. Great. Even though most of the time, we probably have that singular. I don't think it matters, but most of the time I think it's really difficult. So yesterday I went to speak with my teacher in order to get advice. Advice is a non-count noun, so it cannot take the article or un. We view advice as something large that cannot be divided or counted in a way. Very different from Spanish. She told me that I had to give it my best shot. Here we have our next idiom. And I could prove it without any doubt. Perfect usage of the idiom here. She told me that I had to give it my best shot. She told me that I had to try my best. And I could improve it without any doubt. Good. Apart from struggling with my English studies, I am in a really difficult economic situation. Good. We're going to end that sentence there. Perfect sentence. Next up, our third idiom, I can't, and we need the verb make. When you use this idiom, you must have the verb make. So you'll say, I can't make my ends meet. This one is not flexible that way. And I don't know why, but it always has to be make ends meet. Good, and you could have my ends or just make ends meet. Either way. I think this one sounds a little better. Great usage though. It's clear that we're talking about things you need to, basic necessities you need to buy because you have to ask for money. So great use of that idiom as well. All right, any questions on Javier's examples? All right, looking good, really good examples so far. David, are you ready?
Yep, I am here.
All right, go ahead.
Sure. There was a guy named Juan and he dreamed would be a professional engineer. He lived in a very poor family and their parents were not able to pay him a university. Even they didn't not could make end meet. The guy was disappointed for his situation, but he was lucky because was hanging out until he get a scholarship from the government, and nowadays he's studying and give his best shot.
All right, great. So another paragraph, connected examples. Great. One thing, I missed something in Javier's, so I'm sorry. I saw this as I looked at it. I forgot to change this preposition. I'll have to ask for money from my parents. The money comes from them. Okay, so back to David's. A good story. There was a guy named Juan, and he dreamt dreamt of being a professional engineer. Excellent. And lowercase there. He lived in a very poor family, and their parents were not able to pay for his university.
Okay.
Great. He lived in a very poor family, and let's say even if he had brothers and sisters, we're only talking about him. So his parents were not able to pay for his university, even they could make ends meet. Because they couldn't make ends meet, let's say that. Yeah, so they weren't able to pay necessary bills, so of course they couldn't pay for university. Great, so here's our first idiom, good usage. They couldn't make ends meet. I don't know why, but ends is plural. Yeah, very good usage of our first idiom there. Great. The guy was disappointed for his situation, but he was lucky because he was hanging out until he got a scholarship from the government, and nowadays he is studying and giving his best shot. All right, I think we want hanging on here. Good, the guy was disappointed for his situation. Let's say because of, I think it's just a little clearer. But he was lucky because he was hanging on until he got a scholarship This is not past tense here. It looks like past tense. This is unreal conditional. That's why this is in the past tense. So he
Sorry,
was, yes.
could you clarify what you said? Repeating?
Yeah, that's a whole lot of grammar there. Um, and very complex grammar. But in this clause, he was hanging on until he got a scholarship. The until signals a conditional structure. That in the past he was hanging on until some condition was fulfilled. And when we're doing past conditionals, and we're missing the would clause that we would have. It's in the if clause is in the past tense. Let's see. It's related to the conditional here, and because it's in the past. I don't know if I even should mention that. I'm probably just confusing. But I just wanted it. Sometimes we can think like, well, I don't know. I guess because he actually did get the scholarship, then it is. I guess, did he get the scholarship?
Sorry?
He did get the scholarship, yes?
Yeah, I think that I used the phrase in a bad way.
No, this is, I think I'm just bringing up grammar that is irrelevant. This is good here. He was hanging on until he got a scholarship from the government. So he was waiting on, and then he did get it. And nowadays he is studying and giving it his best shot. Right, so we have our other idiom here, hanging on. So he was continuing despite the difficulty. It was difficult to wait. And then our last idiom here, good usage. This is transitive, so it takes an object, giving it his best shot, giving the job his best shot, giving the university his best shot. Great, really good usage of that idiom. Okay, any questions on David's example?
No questions, thank you.
All right, excellent job, everyone. Great, we have time, and I think we can do 3 more. I don't know why, but I'm always pleased when we can do the whole cycle 2 complete times. So let's learn 3 more idioms, and we'll repeat it. Kind of just repeat the process with 3 more idioms. All right, our next one is get the jump on someone. To get the jump on someone. So this one's much less common than the others. If you get the jump on someone, you get an advantage over someone. In our literal picture, we see a kangaroo literally getting the jump on someone. So we can see he's ahead or he has an advantage. All right, let's read that example. Anna, your turn for example reading.
Okay. Get the advantage over someone. Did you have a nice time at the school dance last night? To tell you the truth, I would have enjoyed myself more if I had been able to go with Teresa instead of Elena. Why didn't you ask Teresa in the first place? I was about to, but Benito got the jump on me. How did he manage to do that? He got the advantage over me by telling Teresa that if she went with him, he'd take her out to dinner and then to the dance in his brand new convertible. Well, Now she can hardly be blamed for accepting an offer like that.
All right, thank you very much. So getting the jump on someone means to have an advantage or to get an advantage. I would think of this in a work context for some reason. Maybe because it's a little bit competitive. Any questions on this idiom at this point?
Normally, do you use this to get the jump on someone in a job? Yeah, but actually, it's in a bad meaning, or it could be only in a competitive meaning, or.
It would depend on the context.
Okay.
It's not necessarily bad in itself.
Okay.
Yeah, great question. Excellent. All right, let's look at the second one. Pull strings. To pull strings, here's our literal picture. Here is the man literally pulling strings with dollars attached to them. To pull strings is to exert influence or to use power that you have to accomplish something. All right. David, it's your turn to read the example.
Sure, Stefan. Exert influence. Steven had been unsuccessful in getting tickets for the opening game of the season. However, he pulled some strings with the manager of the team and got excellent seats. There is no doubt that he got the tickets only by exerting his influence with a person important enough to help him get what he wanted.
Excellent. Thank you, David. Great. So this one I think is maybe a little less clear. Questions on this one at this point? All right, let's continue then. Our third one, to spread oneself too thin. And very funny picture, we see a flattened man, very, very thin. If you spread yourself too thin, you become involved in too many activities. Or to do too much. Javier, would you read the example for us?
Although Teresa has always been an excellent student, her marks have been going down lately because she's spreading herself too thin. Besides spending a great deal of time in after-school sports, she got a part-time job as a clerk in a department store. It's only natural that her grades would suffer. She is becoming involved in so many activities that she cannot devote the time that it takes to excel in any of them.
All right, great. Thank you. Excellent. So, spreading yourself too thin, when you take on too much, and you cannot accomplish all of it. All right, any questions on this one? All right, so we're going to go back to our Google Doc, and we'll have the idioms there, trying to type them while we talked. Here are our three idioms. You can start typing right away if you'd like, or refresh your memory here. To get the jump on someone means to get an advantage over someone. To pull strings means to use influence or exert influence. And to spread oneself too thin was to try to accomplish too much. Or what did our thing say? Become involved in too many activities. All right. So just like you did before, find a spot and start writing your examples. We're going to do 5 minutes, pretty strict time limit this time to make sure we can get to all three. So 5 minutes on the clock. Ready, set, go.
I finished.
All right, super.
I
Great.
hope you won't get mad.
I probably won't. I'll read mine really quick, though. I borrowed an idea of yours, so I'm going to read mine so you can. I couldn't think of an idea, so I just used yours. Here's mine, and then Anna, you'll go. Um, I need to get the jump on my coworker. If she talks to the account manager first, she'll get the promotion. Can you talk to the account manager and get me a meeting before her? Sure, I'll see if I can pull some strings. But are you sure you really want the promotion? I feel like you've already spread yourself pretty thin with this job and your side business selling happy grass. Just examples. I couldn't think of what to end with, so thank you for that idea. All right, so yours looks like is a continuation. Let's hear it. Go ahead when you're ready.
Please don't get mad.
I won't.
Okay. Of course, before we changed it from water into wine, we went to true instead. A lot of things together. Stephanie was always spreading herself too thin, but it was because she was always full of caffeine, always wide awake. She is addicted to Starbucks so far, by the way. Anyway, Javier um, sh- should have never pulled strings with her and convinced her to try pot. At least not that day, because there was an awful guy who had a crush on her that got the jump on her that day just because she was wasted. I'm sure she must regret making out with that guy so far. Anyway, let's uh let's begons to be begons, I guess. I'm not sure. Yes, sorry. And keep the best memories. Those things were fun and we learned from them. We always make fun of Stephanie anyway. Her other boyfriends were killers. That one was the only one who was ugly.
Excellent. Very funny. And a lot of it's true, so I don't see how I could get mad. Fun, very entertaining. All right, let's look at it. Yeah, a lot of this is surprisingly true. All right, Stephanie was always spreading herself too thin. Great usage in the past continuous there. But it was because she was always full of caffeine, always wide awake. This is very true. It's as if you've known me for years. She is addicted to Starbucks, also very true. So far, by the way. I just don't think we need that part. Anyway, Javier should have never pulled strings with her and convinced her to try pot. There's our next idiom. This one, I think, pulling strings usually involves with other people or getting a connection to other people. We can use it in this context. You should have never pulled strings. You would pull strings. You might pull strings to get the pot. Pulling strings has the idea of talking to someone in a position of power in order to get something done. If I'm in a position of power, then it might work a little better too.
Okay, I misunderstood because the translation was to exert influence. Yeah, so
yeah, and that's why the examples we can't quite get deep into the meaning until we use the examples. Yeah, so a little bit of an idea of powerful. Let's see.
can I fix it quickly?
Yeah, go ahead.
You can go to someone else and then I will fix.
Okay, no worries. Let's see who is next. Javier, are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready. Yeah.
Oh, all right, go ahead.
Lately, I've been spreading myself too thin in my job that one of, sorry, I forgot, of my colleagues, yeah, have had more time to do networking with my manager. Finally, he got the jump over me and he got the promotion. It's a shame. Next time I have to be smarter or try to pull strings with my manager. Actually, we don't get along.
All right, great. Excellent. Let's look at these. Our first one right there in the first sentence. Lately, I have been spreading myself too thin in my job. Perfect usage. Great. Oh, these are connected though, so I wonder if we want to say, we might want to use, let's see. So, if we were ending the sentence right here, perfect. Lately, I've been spreading myself too thin in my job. But we're connecting it with a cause and effect. So we actually want to use so thin in my job that one of my colleagues has gotten the jump, has had more time to do networking with my manager. Good. So slight difference, but excellent use of the idiom. All right, has had more time to do networking. This is good, but I think we might even just say to network. That can be a verb all by itself. Had more time to network with my manager. Finally, he got the jump over me. I actually think we do say jump over as well as jump on, but I'm not too sure. This is a less common idiom. We'll just stick with jump on. Finally, he got the jump on me and he got the promotion. Sad. So he had the advantage because he could network more. Good. It is a shame. Next time I have to be smarter or try to pull strings with my manager. Actually, we don't get along. Good. Pull strings here works because you're pull strings with your manager, so try to use influence. However, we usually pull strings with people that we have a connection with. So it could still fit. We could pull strings with someone we don't like, but usually if we're pulling strings, it's with someone that we have a good relationship with.
Okay.
Or at least a good work relationship. Maybe not close.
Mm-hmm.
But great. Good use of that one as well. All right, so any questions?
No, no question.
Great. All three nice connected examples. Let's go down real quick and we'll get David's. David, are you ready?
Yes, Stefani.
All right, go ahead.
Okay. Andres was a smart guy at the school. He used to be the best student of the whole class. Besides that, he started to like other activities like soccer, basketball, dancing, and more. One day he decided to join the soccer team, the basketball team, and the dancing team. After some days he was full of stress and spread himself too thin and his grades going down. Like he was considered a good student for everyone, he pulled strings over the teachers to get better grades and other benefits that others didn't have, and he would oh, at the jump on to the other students that want to attend the sport clubs. Finally, he was hated for everyone.
All right, great. All right, let's go through them. Nice connected examples. He used to be the best of the whole class, and besides that, he started to like other extra activities like soccer, basketball, dancing, and more. He decided to join the soccer team, basketball team, and dancing team. I knew at this sentence, I knew you were going to use spread himself too thin, because that's a great example of that idiom. Let's just change, after some days, let's change this to a few, because I don't think it would take very many days. After a few days, he was full of stress and spread himself too thin, and his grades went down. Great. He was, I don't think we need like here. Let's just start with he. He was considered a good student by everyone. He pulled, past tense, so we'll add the ed. He pulled strings with the teachers. There's our next idiom. Great usage. So he's pulling strings with the teachers to get better grades. So his teachers like him, and he can kind of talk to them and make them give him better grades. That's a really good example of pulling strings. With the teachers to get better grades and other benefits that others did not have, and he got the jump on the other students that wanted to attend the sports club. Good. So he had an advantage over the other students because he was able to pull strings with the teachers. Great.
Okay.
Last thing, I think we're just going to change the last four to by again. He was hated by everyone. Okay. Great, David. Any questions?
No, Stephanie, thank you.
All right, very nice use of those idioms.
Thank you.
All right, and we are just a couple minutes over, but let's go back up. Anna, where are we?
Okay, I fixed.
All right, great. Go ahead.
Okay. Let's be gons to be gons and keep the best memories. No, hold on. Anyway, Javier should have never convinced her to try pot. At least not that day, because there was an awful guy who had a crush on her that she got jump on her that day. But just because she was wasted. I am sure she must regret making out with that guy so far. Anyway, let's be gons to be gons and keep the best memories. Those things were fun and we learned from them. We will always make fun of Stephanie anyway. Her other boyfriends were killers. That one was the only one who was ugly. We almost got expelled from college because we were accused of growing weed in the campus. But we got rid of the evidence, and some guys backed us up, and a rich, influential, and nice classmate pulled string with the principal, so thank God we got away with that.
Excellent. Very exciting story. Great. All right, so let's look at them. The awful guy who had a crush on her that got the jump on her that day, so he had an advantage over me. Pretty good usage here. Yeah, great usage there. And not a work context. I am sure she must regret making out with that guy. I just think we don't need that part. Anyway, let's let bygones be bygones and keep the best memories. Those things were fun and we learned from them. We will always make fun of Stephanie anyway. And I think this is my favorite part. Her other boyfriends were killers. That was the only one who was ugly. That's just really funny to me. He's extra bad because he's the ugly one. We almost got expelled from college because we were accused of growing weed on the campus, but we got rid of the evidence and some guys backed us up, and a rich, influential, and nice classmate pulled strings with the principal. So thank God we got away with that. Perfect. Yep, pulled strings with the principal. So used their influence to change things. Excellent use of the idioms and very nice connected story there. Any questions on Anna's example?
No, thanks a million.
Yes, my pleasure. Sorry for going over time, but thank you all for participating. And we'll be back sometime soon with more idioms.
Okay, thank you, Stephanie.
All right, my pleasure. See you next time.
See ya. Bye.
Bye-bye.